Stormwater is what you get when it rains hard. I don't think people realize, sometimes the damage that water can do.
Roanoke County is really unique when it comes to stormwater drainage due to the fact that we are probably one of the very, very few that I know of municipalities that have drainage program dedicated for easements and specific areas of flooding. Shortly thereafter, the 1985 flood in the Roanoke Valley. It started with only 3 people in the program. Now it evolved to about 9 staff members that work day in and day out as part of improving and maintaining all the easements and properties that the county owns that relates to stormwater drainage.
The storm events are so much, now they're more intense sometimes than what they had been in the past. They're more frequent. That's a big change right there. I've noticed that since 1985 when I first came.
Our main goal is to help prevent flooding and erosion problems that do damage to people's properties and homes possibly. A little bit of water can do a lot of damage. We've got a place over in North County that we call the Grand Canyon, and we had to go and fill it in. It had washed out probably 25 feet deep, 30 feet wide at the top. And there's been several places like that around the county.
First and foremost, we work for the citizens of Roanoke County. When we go out they call and ask for advice or ask if the county can help us with this problem. First thing we come out and look, we'll check on the plats before we come out, the subdivision plat, to make sure that that there is an easement or not a public drainage easement. But even if there's not one, we still come out and give advice, or if it is our easement, public drainage easement, then we'll look at it and see what we can do. Sometimes it will be just a maintenance thing, sometimes it will be a major effort, and then it'll go on a short list if it's a minor thing for maintenance. And if it's a long project, it'll go on a major effort project list, and then we'll create the design as we get closer to it. There's probably 50-some projects on the list now, major projects. There's on the short list there may be 15.
Well, I have 2 crews. One's a 4-man crew and the other's a 3-man crew. And we usually try to keep them working on separate projects, but if there's something big, sometimes we'll have to bring them together because we do a lot of big stuff too. Like I've got one crew right now that's had been working on putting in 180 feet of storm drain that had failed. It was put in years ago, a corrugated metal pipe, and it had rusted and was causing sinkholes in the yard. So they were out putting new pipes in, and the other crew might be going out on projects like the one we're on now and reseeding areas that might be washing out just so we don't have to come back later on and have another major problem again. One day we might be working on building a concrete channel. Next day we might be getting a tree out of the creek. One day we might be tearing down a house that's in the floodway. Nothing's ever typical. It's always different, yeah.
The stormwater program in general in Roanoke County goes beyond the stormwater drainage. That involve engineers, inspectors, and also administrators that has to deal with the stormwater in the county. The engineering teams review plans that's submitted by developers or builders to build buildings to make sure that they comply with the county ordinance of the erosion and sediment control and stormwater ordinance, as well as the stormwater regulations that is managed mainly by the state.
I really enjoy what I do, and I appreciate the support that we get from our department that allows us to be creative in what we do, so it not only works good, it looks good.
I like helping people out. I think that's the biggest thing, help direct people and make them right decisions for themselves. And it is a regulatory somewhat environment, but it's try to help people see why it's regulatory. why it's that why we do what we do.
To me, it's very important. And for the people, I think the people out there, like the people in this neighborhood, I think if you ask them, they'd say the same thing. It's very important, you know.